Hi, I'm Crazy John Viper, and here's a quick video following up on two comments that I got under my How to Women video. So, Xavier 2.0 writes, great advice that a lot of young men could use. So very true. How the lack of patience and or the presence of parents can affect someone in the long term. My parents were not perfect, but they did their very best. I'm trying my best with my near adult child, even though my job has cost me the ability to be present for most of the early years of parenting. Thank you for this comment. And yeah, I really appreciate you that you try your very best with your own child. And I think many people are going to relate that, your parents were not perfect, and probably most of parents are not perfect out there. And certainly when I think about my parents, then of course my parents were not perfect. What I always criticized about the way that my parents acted was that they confused the very bare minimum of what you can do with actually good parenting. And I think good parenting doesn't mean that you go 3 times a year on vacation. For me, what good parenting means is that you appreciate the person authentically for what the person is, and that you give unconditional love. I always used to say, as a parent, you have to have a thick skin, but it has to be fluffy too. And when I look back to my childhood, I cannot really remember that my parents ever told me, I love you, or I'm proud of you, son. I'm not holding this against my parents today. They did the best with what they could do. They didn't know any better. And I think there's a general problem in society. Like, let me give you another example. If in Germany, if you want to drive a car, then you have to go through dozens of hours of classes, you have to do a written exam, you have to do a practical exam, you have to go on test rides with your teacher, and basically you spend a couple of €1,000 and 3 months of your life just studying in order to be licensed so that you can drive a car on a public road. But for some fucked up reason, any stupid moron can just ejaculate into a woman, and then you get a child without being asked whether or not you're competent enough in order to take this responsibility. Okay, Sanel 4899 writes, hello, your topics are like me all over, that is your generation. Thanks, Dad. In my prime time, if you were 24 plus and single, people would ridicule you as weird. Problem is, as I see it, is having eventually kids at around 40. What are you going to do with them when they grow up, play soccer, drink beer? Any chance to actually see great grandchildren and communicate? You cannot cheat on human biology. As a male, I can tell you, once you hit 40, you're on the downhill. Okay, I think I get where you're coming from, and unfortunately, and this is just the way that we have been, letting people grow and spread on this planet. I mean, look at the graph of fucking population growth. Do you think that this looks anything like anything you see in nature? And if you remember the movie The Matrix, where this agent tells Morpheus actually that the human being is similar to a virus that just spreads over the country and takes all natural resources and so on and so forth. Even though I'm not some sort of doomsday guy that thinks the human race is some sort of virus, I still think that he has a valid point. It's just if you keep just populating and more and more and just exponentially growing, at some point you're going to reach some sort of ceiling where the natural habitat can no longer accommodate people anymore. And I don't know, I think we are reaching some of these points where we basically cannot accommodate more people. And I know this is a very controversial opinion. I know, thank you very much. But back in the day, for example, when my dad was born, basically kids were free labor. You were working on a farm, you're working on the land, you're working with your hands, and tasks were a lot more hands-on and required a lot more hands-on. And so any kid you can get is free labor and will drastically increase your wealth. And so you'll get as many as you possibly can. And when you look at the world now, I know that many of my friends, they are really doing the math behind whether or not they can afford a child, because now a child is a huge expense and it's something that you have to calculate in an economic sense. And I would love to have kids. I'm totally honest with you. I just simply can't afford it. It's not possible. I don't have the money. I don't have the place. I have not really a home that would accommodate for any kid. And I cannot afford to do any of this. So there we are. It's just the way the world is right now. Humans as a race reproduce for thousands of years when women, girls started to menstruate, we as society imposed laws that it is illegal at least 18 or some places even later. Sex, trade, pornography take that sex drive away from young prime time to reproduce. That's the way I see it. 98% of animals that have ever lived are gone extinction. Now it's our turn. Maybe in another 150 to 250,000 years and we humans are gone. Do not despair, enjoy every minute of it, and do not worry about global warming, sun extinction, carpe diem, I suppose. Yeah, I agree with this, and to be honest, I don't really care. It's just what people do, you know, and I think one of the most important lessons that I had to learn is just get out of the way, you know, like let the world and the people do its thing, you know. I'm not going to make a difference, I'm not going to make a change, I'm not going to be like a fucking messiah or anything. People do just what people do. The world is just the way it is, and there's nothing we're going to do about it. It's just the way it is. And yeah, I'm on your side with this. And I don't know if humans are going to go extinct anytime soon. We will see. None of us will be alive at this time, so why worry about it or why think about it? We will just, you know, as you say, have to enjoy every minute of it, because time is going by so fucking fast. I'm sorry, you're probably a little bit older than I am, but even for me, it's like now that I live with my girlfriend and now that I do stuff that I really enjoy and I'm passionate about, just the last year just flew by like this. And yeah, I don't have time to worry about global warming, sun extinction. I just live here in the Caribbean. I have blue beaches and I have a pool and I hang out as much as I possibly can. For some of us, tomorrow will never happen. Maybe artificial intelligence is actually the only way out. Kind of evolution, I don't know, and never will find out. Good, sehr gut. Thank you for your comment, really appreciate it. And yeah, I think you have said it all there. Just enjoy your life, just enjoy the days, because at some day the days will have run out. And yes, with this very positive message, thank you guys for your comments, really appreciate it, and thanks for taking the time of your days to watch my videos. Really means a lot to me. And with this being said, I hope I see you in the next one. Goodbye.